All right, folks, we're going to get going here. Just a few ground rules. As you notice from the emails and the website, the purpose of this meeting is for primarily licensing staff and also for counsel's office to just go over some of the protocols and procedures and some of the issues that they're having, to be honest with you. There will be an opportunity for questions and answers, either at the end of each segment or at the end. Just want to note, since both Commissioner Fan and Chairman Bradley are here, this is not an open meeting, so there cannot be any discussion of anything that's going to be pending before the members of the authority. All right, so if you have some question or a concern, please keep it generic and not specific to an application. With that,
can I see me up front?
Yes.
So I want to thank you all for coming, and everybody in Albany and Buffalo. I'm going to tell you who's here. For those of you who don't know, this is Commissioner Fan. This is Lisa Ogden, who's with our counsel's office. This is Maureen Hughes, who's with licensing. Amy Mail, who's with licensing, who will mostly be doing the presentation today. Both of them. Adam Roberts, who's the Deputy Commissioner of Licensing, and Gary Meyerhoff, who's our new counsel, and I'm sure everybody knows Tom. I don't want anybody to think that we're doing this to criticize you. The reason this came about is because obviously we are having longer processing times over the last several months, as I'm sure you're all aware. We have been examining them, myself and Sharif Kabir and Adam, on a daily basis to see how we can become more efficient. We've been going through every process. We've been adding people as quickly as we can, and we have added people over the last few weeks, and we're going to be adding more over the next couple of months that are going to be examiners for licensing. But during this process of examining all of this, actually speaking with Amy and Maureen, we discovered that there's a lot of things that we see constantly from the industry that hold up our applications. There are errors that are common, that are really easy for you all to fix before we get here. Before the application gets to us. So that's really what the genesis of this is. We're not here to blame you for what's going on in our agency. We are looking inward, and that's how this came about. So hopefully you'll get something out of this. I do want to discuss two things before I turn it over to them. One, I think you probably all noticed, or if you haven't, check our website. The applications are now being sent to Philadelphia. The reason for that is nothing has changed here. This is a contract that the Comptroller's Office of the State of New York has had with Wells Fargo for several years. Wells Fargo changed their processes, and they are now processing these applications. And the only thing they do is basically open them up, take the check, deposit it for us, and then send the application to New York. It's not going to add any time to the application, we're told, but that's the reason it's going to Philadelphia. It has nothing really to do with us. It's not even our contract, but that's explained on the website. I know that's creating quite a buzz, and I think that just went out last week. The one thing that I do want to discuss briefly is the attorney self-certified. During this whole process of examining these processes, I have come to learn, as Sharif has come to learn, that the self-certification program, as it stands, is not helping us at all. And I think that Amy and Adam and Maureen will tell you the same thing. In fact, Amy's the one who told me. Upwards of 80% of the self-certified applications we get, and probably more than that, have major issues in them. And I'll give you an example of a major issue in my book. If a lawyer is self-certifying an application, and that application comes in and tells us there is not a church or school within 200 feet of a location, and a cursory review by Amy discovers that there is a church 200 feet from a location, within 200 feet, not even 300 feet, that's ridiculous. That application then goes on top of the pile at the back end of the normal applications, and that, to me, is something that if you're a lawyer and you're certifying something, that means you didn't even go to location and check. All you have to do is walk around the block. And that's the type of stuff we're seeing on self-certified applications. I have decided with them and the other people in the agency that we're not going to end this program, although I think most of the people that have to deal with this on a daily basis would like to. I am asking that it improve, and we're also going to become much stricter as far as errors on these applications. Right now, I know that that the rule was, and Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, the rule was you get one warning when there's a cursory review and we find a major error, and then the application goes into the normal pile. And then on the second time, you get a 6-month suspension from the program, and a third time you would be permanently expunged from the program. I don't believe that that's been happening. Am I correct in that?
We've gotten lax on that.
And we're not going to get lax. We're going to get stricter. So this is either going to sink or swim on its own, is the way I look at it. So you'll either all be expunged from the program in a short time, or the applications will improve. The other thing I want to add on that is I know for a fact, because I see it, that attorneys, some attorneys, I'm not saying all attorneys, but some attorneys are certifying applications they did not prepare. Meaning that a representative is coming to them, giving them an application, paying them a fee to certify the application. If I see that, and it's very easy for us to figure that out, you're going to be permanently expunged immediately, because that's an application you are not preparing. And I'm not talking about a paralegal in your law firm. I'm talking about a representative or somebody else who does this for a living, who is coming to you to certify an application that you did not prepare. And I think that the reason for that is self-evident. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Adam briefly, and then I have Maureen, and I think you're going first.
Sure,
yeah.
do it.
And then Maureen and Amy. But thank you for coming. I appreciate it, and I just want to reiterate, we're not here to blame you for any of this. We're just trying to improve it. That's all.